Welcome back, guys. We're going to discuss the importance and the how-to of establishing influence. Now, jumping on the call, your prospect should already be aware of what you guys are able to do from them by some sort of pre-qualifying process, which you've seen in other material and other training material in this program. So in the terms of establishing influence, a few other ways to do that on a more psychological basis. Prior to the meeting, these are things that you can actually do, and then also in the meeting. So let's discuss the first one. Trust and authenticity. So they actually work hand in hand. You're gonna build more trust through your authenticity. Any types of videos you put out on Facebook, or while you're in the call even, or any type of pre-qualifying process you have set up, whether that be on a cold call or some type of automated system that you might have in your agency, all of this is so important to make sure that you are projecting an energy that is yours. That's going to come with finding your voice, which is going to come with constant practice and repetition. Initially, you're going to want to emulate, whether it be us or whomever else you might be learning from at this point in time. And you want to make sure that you can then compile those different types of voices into your own by emulating into your own style and your own voice. Now, when you begin to do that, you develop an authenticity. You start to project who you are, and people see that and they immediately will begin to trust you because they understand you're a straight shooter and you are who you are. So that's step number one. Number two, let's dive into how you're actually going to handle the way you hold yourself, as well as before, when you're not on the call and on the call, or again, any type of system that you have, whether it be a cold call to acquire a client, the appointment, or whether it be some type of automated system you might have. You want to make sure that you're coming off assertive, which is basically you putting your foot down to give them the confidence to know they're making the right decision with you. Whether that be, again, in a Facebook Live or a YouTube video, or whether that be actually in the meeting as you begin to go through your presentation, which again, you'll find more information on in this program. You want to make sure you're assertive by that definition rather than aggressive. When you're aggressive, it really turns people off, not just the prospect, but maybe an audience that you're cultivating. When you're aggressive, it comes off, you're gonna start to create a bit of shame and a bit of fear. And when people are playing from a place of shame and fear, that is not gonna be a quality prospect or a quality audience. You're starting to put them down, and at that point in time, they're either not gonna do business with you because they feel like it's not a good place, and if they do business with you, they're never going to speak up to let you know what's not wrong, and then they'll just end up running. And you'll never know why you lost the client, or you'll never know why you're not continuing to build a more reliable audience prior to actually hopping on a call. Next, we're going to talk about making sure that you're focusing on actions rather than an argument. So basically what that means is when you're focusing on an action for your client, this is going to be a step-by-step process to make sure, and again, we've gone through these principles and other training material, but you're making sure that you're very clear in the steps taking place, okay, in order to get the job done, rather than trying to argue with them and let them know, this is why everyone's wrong. Everyone does it this way, and you shouldn't do it that way because of this. Rather than trying to, again, shame and put everybody down in that sense, because that's what everyone is doing in their sales method, they're trying to say why the competition is wrong and why we're right. Instead of doing that, we want to be clear in the way that we approach what we're doing. Now, again, this is in videos prior to hopping on the call with the customer, where you're just either going live on Facebook to project exactly how your business works or your personality, etc., or you're on YouTube educating, which you could also be doing on Facebook Lives, or when you're on the call. Being able to make sure that you have actionable material is going to give more confidence, right, to your prospect as well. So you want to make sure you're doing that and you're not arguing, saying that they're doing something completely wrong and that your way is the right way. That is never going to be the most effective way to win over the prospect and turn them into a buying customer of yours. Lastly, we want to focus on listening, okay? In the terms of building influence, especially again with a customer or whether you're doing this with your own audience, listening to who you're talking to is going to be one of the most important elements in influence, and here's why. Whether you're gathering market research and asking a question and looking for feedback, so this way you can then pivot, right, change or create whatever you're putting together, or you're actually in the meeting already. There's a saying that you can never listen yourself out of a sale. Whenever you begin to do that, you're going to start to, what I like to refer to as, gather ammunition for the conversation. And what this does is you're going to be able to take everything they say and then implement it into your presentation or into the close and be able to leverage the information they've already told you. You can never go wrong or be wrong if you have all the right answers, and those answers come from your prospect or your audience. Anytime you take their native language and you use it in a context that you're developing, either in a written format or in a verbal conversation, it's going to immediately resonate with that person. So these are all the key elements that I would suggest to master in the terms of developing influence and cultivating influence with the group of people that you're trying to put in your circle, right? Whether those be prospects or creating an audience. I hope this video helps, and I'll see you on the next one.